Hey guys, thanks for stopping by my channel. My name's Aaron and today I'm just going to show you guys how to make a budget-friendly, nice-looking, planted 10-gallon aquarium. Now of course, in order to do this, you're going to need a few things. You're obviously going to need an aquarium. Today I'm going to be using a 10-gallon aquarium. You can use any size that you would like as long as it's suitable for a fish to live in. You're also going to need some type of substrate. Today I'm going to be using topsoil capped with pool filter sand. You're also going to need some live plants. Today I have some Sagittaria and a red stem plant. We're also going to be using a few other plants. Also, you're going to need a sponge filter or a hang on the back filter. And if you do decide to use a sponge filter, you're going to need an air pump. Also, you're going to need some form of lighting, a good enough lighting to grow the type of plants that you're wanting to grow. And this is optional, but you can put some livestock in your planted aquarium, some fish, shrimp, snails, you name it. So without further ado, let's get right into it.
I started off by painting the back of my aquarium white. Painting the back of your aquarium prevents any unsightly wires or airline tubing from being seen when viewing the aquarium. Many people choose to use black instead of white paint, and if you're using a darker colored substrate, that may be a better looking option. I would recommend using a paint roller or spray paint, as using a paintbrush wasn't very efficient. There has been research done that suggests painting the back of your aquarium reduces the reflection of light in the back, and as a result gives you a lower amount of light in your aquarium. However, I believe the change in light is insignificant, and so for aesthetic reasons I decided to paint the tank anyway. I then added about an inch of Scott's Premium topsoil. You can use any topsoil you'd like as long as it's all organic. You can even use soil from your backyard as long as it hasn't been treated with any chemicals. If you are going to use a bagged topsoil, you may want to remineralize the soil. This involves repeatedly wetting your soil and letting it dry out over a period of time so that bacteria can bind the nutrients in the soil into a form that won't dissolve so easily into the water column. This allows nutrients to dissolve more slowly over time instead of all at once, thus preventing a possible algae outbreak and other issues. I, however, live by the motto of "Ain't nobody got time for that," so for today I'll be skipping that step. When I was satisfied with the amount of soil, I made sure to sift through it and pick out any pieces of plastic and string that I found. I also flattened the soil and added 8 evenly spaced DIY Osmocote Plus root tabs for added micro and macronutrients when the plants develop a good root structure. After this, I added a thin layer of pool filter sand from an established aquarium to add beneficial bacteria, followed by a thicker layer of new sand. Some people find that flat scapes are unrealistic and boring, so I positioned the sand to be sloped in the back right in order to create some depth, but with some finessing you can make any layout look amazing. When I was happy with the layout of the substrate, I positioned a piece of driftwood that I found at a local lake in the middle of the aquarium. If you do plan to use driftwood from a nearby lake, make sure that you pour boiling water on it, let it dry, and repeat several times in order to sanitize it. I then poured in some dechlorinated water and was ready to begin planting. I wanted to take inspiration from Dutch aquariums, so I tried to focus on making streets of plants, but truthfully I had little idea of what I was doing. I started by placing a nacris in the upper right corner of the aquarium. I did this hoping that when the nacris grows, it will provide a nice canopy at the surface. Next to the anacris, I planted Sagittaria, which should also provide a good canopy when it matures more. The next plant I chose was Hygrophila deformis, or water wisteria. I decided to use this plant because of its attractive bright green color and unique leaf structure, which can vary greatly depending on the intensity of the light that it receives. Next, I added some red Ammannia gracilis to add a little contrast and variety. Plants with hues of red can really catch a person's eyes when placed among a sea of green. Following the water wisteria, I planted Bacopa caroliniana, which in my opinion looks better than the more common moneywort, and when given the proper nutrients it can show hints of red or bronze in its leaves. I planted long stems of pearlweed horizontally in order to make a carpet on the left side of the aquarium. I then added some small crypt Wenti green and crypt Bacchetti just to fill in the right side a bit more. The last plant that I chose for this aquarium was Java fern, which I wedged into the driftwood. After setting up my sponge filter and heater, I tried to carefully fill the tank with water from an already established aquarium. I then netted out all the duckweed that I could and proceeded to set up the lights. I used 2 clip-on desk lamps from Walmart with 2 13-watt CFL bulbs. I hooked them up to a timer that runs for only 7 hours a day in an attempt to prevent algae. Most people recommend you give your plants anywhere from 8 to 12 hours of light a day, and finding the proper amount of light for your aquarium may take some time and patience. After putting all of the pieces together, this is the end result. Overall, I'm very satisfied with the way things turned out. For now, the water is a little cloudy because I was unable to fill the aquarium without disturbing the substrate, but it will clear up in a day or two. After a week, this is what the tank looks like. As you can see, the pearlweed is beginning to sprout vertical stems, the crypts are melting back a bit as they are wont to do when moved, and the Bacopa caroliniana is starting to become very bronzy at the tops. Algae is also starting to form on the sand, which I plan to try and solve by reducing the amount of light the aquarium receives and maybe adding a nearite snail. In retrospect, I probably should have painted the background black, as I feel the white background gave the water a permanent slightly cloudy appearance. However, once the plants mature and the background becomes less visible, it should no longer be a problem. I can't wait to see how this aquarium matures after I add CO2, stock it with fish, and add even more plants. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video and are interested in following the journey of this aquarium, please subscribe and leave a like and a comment on what you'd like to see me do next. This week's shout out is Rob. Rob, thank you so much for subscribing and supporting me. I hope you all have a great day, and I'll see you guys next time.